bit different today. I'm Teresa Lisum, and I am not with Linda today. She is off on a trip, so it's just me today. And I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So, welcome to Decoding Your Superpowers. As I said, I'm Teresa Lisum, doing it solo today. I am at my best, my most productive, my most energetic, my most creative when I'm in collaboration with somebody because my relationship building strengths are so many that that's what is my part of my superpower is I love to connect, I love to collaborate. That energizes me. So being on my own is a little bit not as high energy today. So I do want to talk a little bit about me personally. I hope you don't mind that. But I want to kind of go through my story and hopefully it will inspire you yourself. So let's get started. Have you ever felt like everyone else has something you don't? That they're more capable, more confident, and more deserving than you? Well, for a long time, that was me. I often felt like I was on the outskirts of every group, smiling on the outside, but quietly questioning my value on the inside. What I didn't realize then is that those feelings of not enoughness were actually the beginning of my transformation story. And that life was just trying to teach me. So, after many years as a successful teacher, at least in my eyes, I was successful. I still battled old whispers of self doubt that I wasn't quite enough, that others had something special that I didn't. I chased growth and I chased healing, but mostly through external things, external validation, external confirmation from others of my value and my worthiness. So I was always learning, always gathering information, trying to fix what I thought was broken. I went to practitioners of different modalities. I read all the books, listened to every inspiring voice that I could find, which I loved. I absolutely loved it. I just absorbed everything like a sponge. And they did help in small ways. And they did help me create and expand myself and evolve myself in many ways. But they were, again, small changes, small improvements. And the real change didn't really happen until I turned inward and started asking new questions. Like, what if I'm not broken? What if my story is the gift that I've been overlooking? I never thought of it as being a gift. Well, it didn't happen overnight. There was no lightning bolt moment. It was more like building strength one small step at a time. I began with morning affirmations and a morning ritual that was really uplifting and inspiring for me. I did an evening gratitude practice, which I still do to this day. I was able to connect with other people on a similar path and who thought the same way I thought. And it was very, very gradual. Those morning rituals and evening rituals helped me feel grounded and hopeful. I had certain types of music that I listened to on my way to work every morning. I used whatever tools I knew at the time. And slowly, the gap between who I was and who I wanted to be started to close and become narrower. I began to trust myself. I began to feel my worth myself instead of trying to earn it. Today, I discovered the whole strengths concept and met my mentor, Eddie Villa, who reflected my gifts back to me. I'll never forget the moment he read my strengths out loud. So we were in a group. I had given him my strengths results, my report, and he picked me this one evening and he just started telling me about myself based on this report that he saw in front of him. But it was like hearing someone describing a woman that I had always hoped to become. I didn't even know. I kept thinking, like, he's talking about me. I mean, that realization came, but it took me a while to grasp that realization. Like, he's talking about me? Like, that can't be. I mean, I saw people get so emotional when he did the same thing for them, where he told them, he reflected back to them who they were, how they were showing up in the world. They just weren't aware of it, as I was not as well. But that day, something powerful shifted in me. I stopped trying to fix myself and started celebrating who I already was and who I was already showing up organically. I began to see how my natural strengths were the exact superpowers that had been guiding me all along. My superpowers, such as positivity and connectedness and learner and input, just to name a few of them. I had them all along, but I did not have a thorough understanding. I didn't have words. I didn't have the ideas around those strengths. But once I learned, I leaned into them. So the real transformation came when I began living those strengths, letting them shape how I approach my work, my relationships, my health, my entire way of being. I realized that every strength, or superpower as I like to call them, is a form of self-love in motion. And once I began using them intentionally, my life began to flow with more ease and more joy. And that's when I knew that my mission is to help other women uncover their own brilliance, help other women see their gifts, trust their intuition, and right now design their own wellness journey. And here's the truth I've come to understand, and I really want you to hear this. You don't need to earn your worth. You don't need to earn your worth. You simply need to remember it. The struggles, the questions, the doubts, the detours, they've all been preparing you for what you're here to do. Your story isn't something to hide behind. It's the blueprint that shows others what's possible. So my journey, my experience, my story of starting small and having this gradual, subtle expansion of myself, the embracing of my strengths and my superpowers, they're all a blueprint for me to follow, a blueprint for me to help you see what else is possible. So I'm going to invite you to take a quiet moment today and ask yourself, what lesson has life been trying to teach me through my challenges? Because it's right there where your superpowers live. And I just want you to know that you are enough, you are capable, and you are growing stronger every day. And that's the real meaning of decoding your superpowers. My story is not big and dramatic and lightning bolt. It's just small, incremental expansion and embracing and understanding my superpowers that has led me to this point. If you had asked me 8 years ago, 5 years ago, that I would be doing this live, recordings like this, I would have probably just laughed in your face and blew it off. And here I am. Now, if any of this resonates with you, I'd love for you to join me on this journey of discovery. Let's explore your strengths, awaken your confidence, and help you see yourself as the powerful woman you already are. Maybe you just don't realize it right now. So I'd love for you to book a discovery call with me. It's free. Send me your Clifton Strengths results, your report, and I would be honored and thrilled to shine a light on your brilliance and help you see what makes you extraordinary.